What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here for another video, and boy oh boy, if you thought Netflix's Witcher was down bad before, it just got a whole lot worse. Because new numbers came out about the 4th season of the show, and it's not looking good. Because this comes to us from Dexerto, and it's entitled The Witcher Season 4 Eye-Watering Budget Revealed, and it tops these Netflix hits. The article states, according to Redanian Intelligence, which is a Witcher news site, The Witcher Season 4 has cost Netflix more than $27 million per episode for a total of $221 million for Season 4. The article goes on to state that the show's running total now said to be over $720 million. And as the article states here, if accurate, that makes it, The Witcher, more expensive than the Wednesday Season 2's estimated $20 million per episode, significantly more than Squid Game Season 3's total reported budget of $71.4 million, and just shy of the total cost of Stranger Things Season 4 at $270 million. And I don't know the actual viewership numbers on that, but something tells me a lot more people watch those shows than they did The Witcher, like any seasons of The Witcher, ever, at all. That's right, we are approaching Rings of Power level numbers in terms of costs for the Witcher series that somehow looks cheaper than Rings of Power and has about the same, if maybe a little bit better ratings and a little less terrible drop-off. But there is drop-off, and it's been significant. Remember, in an article from IGN entitled, Is The Witcher Season 3 Having Viewership Issues?, they stated that the first half of the 3rd season suffered a 30% drop in viewership when stacked against Season 2's performance. And according to Samba TV, there was a 15% drop from Season 2's premiere to Season 3's premiere. Also, according to Samba, about half the audience that started Season 3 did not finish Season 3. And that's what's really worrying, because you have increasingly heavily diminished returns on a series that's gonna approach $1 billion by the time it's all said and done. And if you don't think that money is a concern for the show, just read this article from Redanian Intelligence entitled Season 4 of The Witcher to have an animated flashback. The article states, as we've already mentioned before, the 5th episode of The Witcher Season 4 will be centered around Geralt's Hansa making a fish soup. It's a beloved scene from Andrzej Sapkowski's books that have been expanded into almost an entire episode. Why would you give an entire episode to this? I mean, it's another sign of like caring about the pennies when you're just throwing out the dollars. During this episode, we'll see several flashbacks like we've already revealed. Jaskier will get a mini musical. Why? Just because you had a successful song in the 1st season doesn't mean you have to keep pushing this musical route. I get that Jaskier is supposed to be Dandelion, but that doesn't mean we have to heavily lean into the musical theme all the time. But it makes sense because, you know, the people running this show, they get their backgrounds from campy things like Buffy and musical theater and all that. They have no idea how to actually make high fantasy like Witcher. The article continues, Cahir will tell the story of how he used to care for a hedgehog-like creature that became the Emperor of Nilfgaard, and Milva will tell her traumatic story about her abusive stepfather because, of course. Those scenes will be live action, while Regis's flashback, played by the oh-so-physically accurate to the character Lawrence Fishburne. Anyway, Regis's flashback will be special as it will be animated. It's described as a very similar in style to those comic animations intro from Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. In the flashback, Regis will tell his story, who he is, how he got there, and about the vampiric society. You know what this reminds me of? Speaking of video games put into other media, it sounds like the video game Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, which performed so poorly and lost so much money that they couldn't afford to give the studio any more money to even finish a cinematic to end the game when it was shut down. Basically, they couldn't animate an actual cinematic for the end of the game. So what they did was create this weird comic book flip style cinematic that just got thrown up there with Harley Quinn narrating it. And that's it. That's all they could afford to do. In a similar fashion, I think that they couldn't afford to actually do Regis's flashback because it probably has a bunch of monsters in it, which would have been very expensive to either suit out or animate, like actual animation, not this comic book stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling that they might be pinching the pennies already on The Witcher. And even then, it's still going to cost them $1 billion when it's all said and done, because they still got another season on top of this one. And my guess is that that's going to be the most expensive season to date, because it's going to be the grand finale of the show. The grand finale that has increasingly diminishing returns in terms of people who is watching, and continues to not actually care about the actual meat of the series and getting the details that actually matter right. But hey, that's just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go and leave in the comments. If you liked this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.